day. I know a lot of you have been waiting for the review of this Ambiano. Yes, I have used it so that I can be here to give you correct review and for you to know whether I recommend it or not, and also how it compares to my other pressure cookers. So let me get started with the build. First thing I'm going to talk about is the weight, because that was actually the first thing I noticed when I brought it out during the unboxing. It's not as heavy as the other pressure cookers I have. Not that it's not heavy, it's heavy, but not as heavy. And that's something, but don't worry, no fears. No matter how much you turn things in it, it doesn't move. It's very sturdy, well balanced. Then one thing I always used to test out whenever I get a new one is to do this. I press this to see if it gives. That's what will make me know how strong the body is. There is no give in this. In fact, it's your finger that will be pressing back. So it's very strong. The body is aluminum, and you see it is resting on a plastic bottom. You can see that. And also the lid. The lid is plastic, but with aluminum around. You can see that. But this place, the places you hold, they are plastic, and that's something that is very important. This whole place too is plastic. That is where the functions are. And then there's something I noticed about the build. The others actually look bigger than it. But do you know, when we held them side by side and compared them, they are the same size. So I think it's something that has to do with the design that makes it look smaller. I was surprised when we tested it. They were the same height, they were the same width, and I was like, how did they do that to make it to the eyes visually? It looks smaller, and I like that. That just shows expert design. I love that. I appreciate that. And yes, this is actually a 2020 model, so it's very recent. It's ALDI UK Ambiano. Yes, this is built for the UK market, and it's 2020. So that is it about the build. Now let me move on to the accessories it came with and what you'll be using them for. First accessory, the measuring cup. Let me tell you something about this measuring cup. This is actually 160 ml. So it's not as big as the normal measuring cup that we use for baking and other things. That one is 250 ml. So you can see it's a whole 90 ml difference. This is the measuring cup that is recommended that you should use when measuring things inside. So if you look at their manual or their recipes and they are talking of 2 cups, 3 cups, this is what they are talking about. Don't be like me. I actually use the regular measuring cups. Don't be like me. So this is what you have to use. Next is the spoon that comes with it. This is actually the spoon. You can see it is plastic. Please, no matter what type of pressure pot you're using, do not use a metal spoon in it. That's why you see the spoon it comes with is plastic. So this came with it, but you can use any other kind of plastic spoon or wooden spoon, or what do they call that other material? That other one that doesn't burn. I'll remember. When I remember, I'll mention it. And yes, read your manual. I always tell you that. Please read your manual. Let me tell you something funny that happened when I was about to start using this pressure pot. I've used other pressure pots, so I was like, I know how to use it and everything. First time I plugged it on and I pressed and nothing happened. I pressed, nothing happened, and I was like, why? Because I was using the mindset of the one I had used. That was when I said, hey, you are the one that is always telling people read manual. Carry your manual and read. I carried it and I read it, and I saw that it operates differently from the other ones I have. So read your manual. Number 3, or is it 4? Yes, the rack. This comes with a wider rack than the other Ambiano I have. Hallelujah. I love it. So this actually fills the whole bottom of the inner pot. So you can actually put things inside, and your water can be under. This is what this is for. If you are steaming, when you're steaming, or you want to cook anything that you don't want it to be inside the water, whatever you're cooking, you want to like put cake on top, your cake pan on top. That is what this does. And yes, the cord. Another thing I love about this, apparently Ambiano UK uses this 3-pin regular plug. Hallelujah again. I love that about this. So this comes with the normal regular 3-mouth pin, fits into our socket, and I'm happy about that. Let me show you the inner accessories. Number one is the lid. Now see the way the lid is. It's quite different from the one I have before, and I love this because it's actually simplified. You can clean it easily. Look at this. Just hold this center. See that? I think this has to be my favorite feature here. It's so simple. The other ones are kind of complex to remove, but this is so simple. And not only that, look at this. You can actually remove the ring about it. So it's quite easy to clean. Very, very easy to clean. And then this is the valve control to either release steam or to trap the steam. When you want to release the steam, it is set in the middle. You can see it's tilted up slightly. Can you see that? Now when you want to lock in the steam, you just rotate it. You can see it has pressed, come down. So it's always loose, it's not tight, it's not meant to be tight. So this is sealed, this is unsealed. Center pointing inwards is unsealed. If you do it like this, this is sealed. So just note that. And also, as I told you, this is where the steam is released from. If this thing is locked tight, please do not attempt to open your pressure cooker. So just note that. And yes, the major difference, stainless steel pot. Can I tell you, this is the first time I'm using a stainless steel pressure pot, and it's quite a learning experience. It's quite a learning experience. Don't worry, I'll tell you more about it when I'm telling you what I love and do not love about it. So this is a stainless steel pot, and yes, it's quite heavy. The bottom, as with all genuine stainless steel cooking devices, is always double insulated. So the bottom is double insulated. That is what makes it thick. That is actually what gives it weight. And the inside, you can see, this is simply where the heat comes from. When you put in the pot, this presses down. That is what triggers it to start cooking. So for as long as this is not pressed down, it doesn't get hot. Final thing, this is the condensation cup. The reason they call it that is when it's steaming, this is where it comes in. So the condensation cup is always fixed here. The steam now rolls down as water and drops inside here. So you remove it and empty it after every cooking. And that's it for the accessories. We are getting to my favorite part now, the functions. That is where the major difference is. These are the functions. 14 different functions. And let me tell you what I said I did the first day I tried to use it. I said was normally with the other one, you just press the button. Soup or broth or meat or stew, bean, whatever you want to do. I pressed like this, nothing happened. Press like this. I said, what's wrong? Press this, nothing happened. I said, what's wrong? I was telling my husband, I said, the buttons are not working. I said, no read manual. And I went to read the manual. That was when I understood that for all the functions within this radius, this is the button that controls it, unlike the other one. So when you do pressure cook, you see, soup, second time, broth, you can see the time is changing. Meat, stew, bean, poultry, porridge, rice, curry, fish, steam. You can see that. So I was pressing this, expecting it to press. It didn't press. That's why I said read your manual. And then there are some that are double. So one light controls double, whether soup or broth, but they operate with different temperatures. So you have to know the one you are cooking. Is it soup or broth? Please note that what you call soup or broth is very different from what they call soup or broth. So, but it's very easy to adjust the time. One thing I love about this is you can actually select either low pressure or high pressure for whatever you're cooking. Like for rice, let me select rice. Rice normally comes with low pressure, it's automatic, but you can now switch. I see high pressure, low pressure, high pressure, low pressure. You can also adjust the time. This 25 minutes, 10 minutes, so 15 minutes. So whichever one you can adjust it. I've cancelled that. That's one thing I love about it. You can adjust your time. You can select low or high pressure. The other functions it has is the slow cook, the saute, and the yogurt. Is very sensitive. So this is actually what makes it a multi-cooker, not just a pressure cooker. The fact that it can slow cook, which is not a pressure cooking function, saute and yogurt, they are not pressure cooking functions. So that's what makes it a multi-cooker. So you can saute, which is stir frying, you move the cover and things like that. Then you can actually put things in it, cover it, and set your delay start. Delay start means you can set 30 minutes, which means it should not start cooking till after 30 minutes. That's what the delay start means. And you can set it up to 24 hours, which means you can put things inside, but they advise don't put perishable things. You can put things like maybe rice or something, or like soya beans that takes a long time, and just set it and put delay start. It will not start cooking till after it has counted down to when you want it to start cooking. So this is basically it. You can control so many things about it. That's what I love about this, especially the low pressure, high pressure, and then very simple. Now for the safety features. And one thing I want you to know is that there are some inbuilt safety features inside. So like maybe when you put too much liquid in something or it's piled too high, it will show you E. If you look in your manual, you know what the E means. There's E1, E2, E3, E4, and they mean different things. So you know exactly what you did wrong. That is one safety feature I love. Another one I want you to see is the lid. This, you see, this metal, this is what shows you when it is locked and when it is not locked. So when you turn it like this, that is unlocked. Is when it comes out, you can lift it. So you put it back, it is locked. Please note this lock and unlock signs on the paper. No matter what you do, please don't let that remove. Normally I remove paper from this, but this is very important. It lets you know how to lock and unlock it. It's very important so you don't damage your pressure cooker. So now for my own safety features. Please do not touch the body when it's in use. Do not touch any of the aluminum parts when it's in use. It gets very hot. Very, very hot. So that's the warning I'll give you. And it's also in the manual. When it is in use, when it is pressurized, don't move it. No matter, don't say you want to just quickly move it to this side. No. Wherever you are cooking, leave it there. Because when it is pressurized and you shake it, the pressure can eject forcefully, and that can be quite dangerous. So as long as you leave it like this when you're cooking, no issues. Don't move it. That's just my own tip. Now, can we move on to what I love and what I do not love? 3 things that can actually be pros or cons depending who it is. But for me, number 1 thing that I noticed that I'm not so comfortable with is how easy it is to open the cover. The other Ambiano pressure cooker, you can watch the review here. You notice that one has a red button you need to press before it can unlock. This one doesn't have that, so it's just so easy to slide, which if you have children, you need to be careful about. They can open it easily. That one, I call that other one a child lock. This one doesn't have a child lock. Just do like this, it slides open. So that's one. Number 2, because of the shininess of the build or whatever, I don't even know what to call it, it is a fingerprint magnet. The moment you touch it, fingerprints don't show. So because of that, I like everything spick and span. Because of that, it makes it constantly cleaning. All these ones I've been touching, everywhere is already showing, no matter how clean your hands are. My husband said they call it fingerprint magnets. That is what it is. It is always so. So that's something I really also don't like about that. Number 3, this, I love this, and at the same time it can frustrate me also, is the fact that because it is a stainless steel pot, which you should note, by the way, that stainless steel is one of the safest cooking materials. Yes, stainless steel is highly recommended. It is safe to use. So note that. If you want healthy cooking, stainless steel is one of the recommended cooking materials. But because it's stainless steel, it heats up fast. So the good point is it actually cooks faster than the other pressure cookers I've used before. It cooks much faster. That's why you notice even the time on it is adjusted to reflect that. It cooks faster, it heats up faster. But the downside is if you're not careful, your food can get burnt. And with this, I also had to learn how to adjust the water content. Because it cooks faster, it doesn't need as much water as the non-stick ones. So that was one thing I had to learn. In fact, for the other ones, the non-stick ones, they recommend when you are boiling rice, a cup of rice to 1.5 cup of water or 2 cups depending on the material. This one is equal quantity of rice, equal quantity of water. 1 cup rice, 1 cup water. So because of the speed of the cooking, so yes, I had to do adjustments for this. And if you are not careful, if you leave it on too long, maybe you increase the time too long, it can burn. Your food can get burnt in it. So those are just the 3 things I noted about that. So I hope you love the review. It's amazing. It's an amazing gadget. I recommend it heartily for you. And yes, because of the stainless steel, the safety of the stainless steel, it is a big plus as far as I'm concerned. Huge plus. So yes, go for it. And in the caption, you get the contact details of our sponsor, Frankincense Kitchen Gadgets, and how you can get it. And also, as at the time of recording this, is running a promo, so you can get it at a discounted amount. And yes, I have decided to split the review and the recipe into 2 videos so that you don't have to be skipping the review to get to the recipe if you have watched the review before and you just want to work on to do the food I do. So catch my next video for the recipe I'll be using this to make, and believe me, it's not a recipe to miss. Till next time, don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share, to comment, to ask your questions. And if you have any of these gadgets, please drop your own opinion about it, or if you're having any issues with it, drop it. I'll be glad to help in any way. I love kitchen gadgets and I troubleshoot them a lot, so I can actually give you a lot of tips on how to handle any issues you might have. Don't forget, subscribe, Lagos Housewife. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week on another Gadget Tuesday. Bye.